Yo, what is up? We are back on Hoops and Brews. It's been a minute. It's been a very long time. I've actually personally been on vacation for my birthday. I went to Miami, which was fun. And I went to visit family in Tallahassee, Florida, which was also fun. But we are back. The conference finals are not over with. We have finally reached the NBA finals. We are here. It's here. The finals are upon us. Joe, how have you been? Talk to the people. What's up?
What's up, y'all? I've been pretty good. I've been out. May been a very busy month for me. Sister graduated. My birthday. Happy birthday.
Congratulations on that.
Oh, appreciate you. I'll let her know for sure.
When you
Um,
out, well, listen, hold on, wait. I won't tell the people, but
what's
you
up?
know what happened on your birthday. I will
Oh,
not tell the people what happened on your birthday, but you know what happened on your birthday. I will not say nothing that is your business to tell, but you know what happened on your birthday.
yeah, that was interesting. I mean, I don't yell at me. We don't need to. But yeah, just maybe been all over the place. I've been out, been here, been there. But basketball also been going on around the same time. Very interesting. I'm not sure how you feel about a lot of people kind of disappointed with the playoffs. You know, a lot of the outcomes have been more
Yeah,
lopsided.
I don't know why, but in my person, actually jumping right into it. I was trying to tweet it out, but jumping right into it. Let's fine.
Mhm.
Let's jump into it. Conference finals reaction, like you just said. You said some people have been very disappointed with the conference finals. I just had an argument with one of my friends about this actually when he was like, "Yo, the conference finals were boring." I didn't share that same sentiment. I
Mhm.
even for instance, even the Golden State Maverick series, I thought it was a good series. It's not like the Warriors just ran outside of game one in the last game. It's not like they just ran Dallas off the court. Like Dallas had a real chance to win almost every single game outside of game one and game five. They had a very realistic chance to win every single one of those games. Like it's not like when you got to the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken, every game was within 10 points.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Dallas series for sure,
Yeah,
especially
like they're like yeah, like they had a chance. Now, obviously, the Miami Boston series was a little bit lopsided, but again, both
more up
teams
and
were
down.
more up and down, but that's because both teams were kind of banged up. I think if both teams would have been healthier, you would have seen maybe a quote unquote better series. But I think the last two games were like dope. Like, what else do you want besides a game seven that comes down to basically the last shot? And what else do you want besides a game six in which for whatever reason, like I was watching a little bit more TV because I was in Tallahassee and my uncle was watching TV or whatever. So people just penciled Boston in to win game six. And mind you, now my stepmom's family is from Boston. So we was having a conversation like about the Celtics. And obviously I'm in Florida. So I'm having a conversation like about the Heat. And I'm like, yo, they better win this game. Like I wouldn't just pencil them in to win this game because you don't necessarily want to go back to Miami and have to deal with that. Now, granted, they ended up pulling it out. But
Hmm.
yeah, I didn't share the same sentiment that some other people shared. What about you?
Somewhat. I mean, I kind of get it. Game seven was wild. Miami went on a 11-0 run at the end of the game
At
and
the
almost put
end,
that off. That's an 11-0 run is wild, especially coming down to that. And that last Jimmy shot was like everybody was on the edge of their seats, like, yo, he did what? But for the most part, I think in the Miami series, I just think, and just in playoffs in general, like it's a little more. The outcomes have been the way they have been is because like mainly the high volume and 3 point shots. Like this has always been said, like back in the day, like it's a make or miss league, but that's never been more true nowadays. Like when you rely on the shot so much and you aren't making it, you continue to shoot it. You're not going to produce that well, and if the opposing team is hitting theirs, I mean, it's kind of like it's very like 1+1 is 2 type. It's basic, but it's kind of just what it's kind of come down to. The high volume of threes is kind of thrown out sometimes can make a game a lot less competitive. That's the reason why I think the Warriors have like been able to make it as far as they have like for so long. Because as good as they are at shooting three balls, they know how to score at all three levels. They know how to take what the
they get
defense
a
gives.
lot of layups. The Warriors get a
Yeah.
lot of layups. A lot of now it may be created by their movement, but they get a lot of layups. Like I don't even think
Yeah.
the Warriors this season, right? I don't think they like shoot astronomically better than everybody else. Like in past years, yes, when you had, all that firepower like Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, they shot astronomically better than everybody. This year, they just play smarter, and again, they get a lot of layups caused off of their movement. Like everything just ain't them swinging the ball around and hoisting up threes.
Exactly. They take what the defense gives. They do that better than any team. Any team pretty much obviously throughout the entire playoffs, and that's why I think this Celtics Warriors series difference in this series is probably going to be I like IQ, and I just honestly think Boston. I think most people I've talked to have picked the Golden State. Could you agree? Most people you talk to pick Golden State to win the series, right?
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if Boston stole it. Boston has a similar kind of blueprint to what Memphis has. You know, the athletes, you know, the Jaren Jacksons and Brandon Clarks. They actually really kind of irritated Golden State, and what Dallas didn't have. Dallas didn't have a bunch of athletes to kind of really get up in them and irritate them. Draymond didn't really have a Jaren Jackson or somebody like that to really like push him to go. But in this situation, is Boston sort of they got that. They got Grant Williams, Al Horford. What's up?
Can we talk about the Warriors series, right? Because I know I said some things prior to the prior to the series.
Dude.
No, I know it wasn't wilding. Like I don't think Steph Curry. No, I don't think Steph Curry grossly outplayed Luka Doncic. I don't think Klay Thompson. I don't think Klay Thompson grossly outplayed Jalen Brunson. I don't even think every night Jordan Poole outplayed Spencer Dinwiddie. The issue was Dorian Finney-Smith did not match Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins went to a different. Andrew Wiggins was balling.
What did you say
Andrew Wiggins was fucking balling. Huh?
He was playing like the number one pick. You saying Dorian Finney-Smith could possibly outplay him? Ain't that what you?
Yeah, but like, listen, no, like I didn't think he would do it every game. I just thought there might be a defining game, whatever. Like I think maybe like game 4, right? When they came out there and they did what they did. But I thought you would see more of those games. Maxi Kleber, for the most part, gave them nothing. I didn't think that he would outplay Draymond Green the whole series. But the man hit fucking 10. He couldn't miss against Phoenix. The man hit like 10 threes. The issue with him is he kept getting in foul trouble so quick, he didn't even have a chance to even have an impact in the game because he picking up 2 fouls very early and he out the game. The issue for Dallas was the issue for Dallas was they couldn't get everybody going at the same time, right? I think it was game 2. Luka get on, Jalen Brunson get on, Spencer Dinwiddie committing crimes against humanity. Like, bro, think he had 4 points. Dog, we brought you here to do more than score 4 points, brother. You can't score 4 points, brother. 4?
Yeah, and then while that was happening, the Warriors had it all clicking. They would have lineups where Steph and Draymond went on the floor, and they would run the Dallas off the court. They showed their depth off in that series. They throw out their Poole, Porter, Looney, and shout out to oh my gosh,
Kevon Looney. Look, listen, this was shades of 2019. Gee, Western Conference Finals Kevon Looney is the stuff of legends. There's like there is like playoff Jimmy Butler. And somewhere in here is Western Conference Finals Kevon Looney. You remember 2019 with the Blazers series?
Yeah, I do.
If you remember overtime, Kevon Looney, including Steph Curry, was the best player on the court. I'm not making this up. Go back and watch it. I'm not making this up.
I know you're talking about. And the random side, I'm very excited for Kevon Looney versus Al Horford. I'm sorry, but that's about to be some very good big man play right there on the way forward.
For sure. But, like, okay, going back to the conference finals. Luka Doncic, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the next step for Luka Doncic? I'll tell you what it is for me. For me, he has to get in better shape. He has to get in. He has to get in better shape. Shot selection could be a little bit better. A little bit better shot selection. I think if he can go up, like I said, improve to 40, about more closer to 40% from 3 on a consistent basis, that will help him. But really being in shape. You know, I think he's smart enough to eventually be a defensive, not negative. Maybe he'll never be a plus because, you know, certain athletic things he just doesn't have. But I think, you know, him playing a game, he'll be smart enough to not be a defensive negative. I think the issue is you can go at him defensively because he's tired. He can't slide his feet. He can't move well in space. And he does so much on the offensive end. And on the other end, you can kind of abuse him. And the thing about great offensive players is if you can abuse them on the other end for as much as, you know, you may bring to the table offensively, great offensive players, just solely great offensive players don't win basketball. Like they don't win championships. Even Steph Curry, right, when he was 2016, probably best offensive player in the league, he still led the league in steals. Even Magic, even going back, Magic Johnson, you want to say he's one of the best offensive point guard of all time. Arguably Steph Curry up there, whatever, however you want to swing it. Still gave 8 rebounds and led the league in steals many times. Like Magic was getting you about 2.5 steals a night. So you have to do, even Allen Iverson, when he won MVP, right? They get to the finals. He led the league in steals. He gave them something defensively. Now, you know, he wasn't always a defensive negative. Luka has to give the Mavericks something where he's not always a defensive negative. Even if it's the point of, like I said, going out there and get you know what? We know you're not the best on-ball defender. You play the passing lanes well. Granted, he's already a pretty good rebounder. He already go out there and get you about, 7 to 8 rebounds. But at the same time, rebounds these days are kind of skewed because, they shoot so many threes. You don't really know where the ball is bouncing back to. But to me, the next step for Luka is becoming somehow a better defender. Somehow a better defender, in my personal opinion. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would agree. I think Luka got to be able to move his feet. I see too many times over and over again where Steph would just get right by him, Poole is going right by him, and it's off of just like maybe one or two moves. He got to definitely get in more shape, and he got to show more effort on that end. It starts with that. And I also think it's also going to be relying on the Mavericks on their on their front office. They got to. I think last podcast we talked about how they kind of did a good job of maximizing Luka's talents, and I got him to the West Conference Finals. But they got to do an even better job. They got to bring in a better big from Dwight Powell starting that center.
Sure.
Not gonna get you the job done. Probably an upgrade over Maxi Kleber would have done them justice if they had like a different any type of four who could like maybe finish at the rim and shoot and just a little bit something from that position upgrade there. And then from there is pretty much where you just like it all goes up. But Luka Doncic obviously he's absolutely amazing. We talked about how he's probably like arguably a top 5 player in the league right now. From here, defense. I don't have a problem with Luka's shot selection. Like when you Luka, those are the shots that we want you to shoot. You out there to shoot the ball. We want you to be aggressive. We want you to keep pressure on the defense. Even if some of the shots he makes them sometimes. Some of them those crazy. That's kind of how I feel about Tatum. Like they shoot those shots because they can. Like once you get to the, that's you struggling. But that's what those players do. That's how you keep pressure on the defense. That's how you.
But even real quick. I think it was game 2 where they jumped up to that big lead. If I'm not mistaken, right? They jumped up to a big lead. They got in the bonus in the third quarter. If I'm not mistaken, right? They had like 8 minutes in the bonus in the third. I think it was game 2. 8 minutes in the bonus. You just stop going to the rim. You're Luka Doncic, bro. Continue to put pressure on defense and go to the rim. They just started just.
Is that maybe a factor? Not being in shape, maybe? It's not going to the rim.
Maybe. I don't know. Regardless, he got to get in. You got to get in better shape. My personal opinion, he has to take better care of his body. Because again, you're 23 years old now. You can kind of get away with that. When you start to be 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, those things come back and they can play a detriment to you. He has to take better care of his body, in my personal opinion. And also, my bad. Go ahead.
I was just saying.
Also,
what's up? He's just saying he played through. I think he did a pretty. I mean, Luka's always out. He's out there most of the time. He played through. He had a shoulder injury. He played through whatever he had. I wasn't really saying too much. I mean, but.
And I'm with you about roster improvement. I think even last time we talked, I said they could probably use a better like backup big, probably a shot blocker, rim protector. That was where they did keep like targeting Kevon Looney when it clearly wasn't working. Kevon Looney was clearly put on a masterclass, and they just kept targeting Kevon Looney. Like this clearly is not working. Stop. I know you might think it's fake and like this can't last all night, but what if it does last all night? And what you saw in that situation was it definitely lasted all night. But I'm with you. They could probably use a better backup center for one. I think that like I'm even trying to think of big, like even let's say they had JaVale McGee. You had a JaVale McGee, a lob threat, shot blocker. Let's say you had a
Muhammad Bamba's about to be a free agent. I mean, Boucher.
Yeah. Facts. Mo Bamba, another young guy's about to be a free agent. I would assume he's probably going to end up being a free agent, probably because the Magic will probably pick Chet Holmgren or Jabari Smith or somebody like that. I would assume he'll probably end up being a free agent. But what if you had somebody like that, who could rim protect, maybe shoot a little bit, catch a lob, just more size in general, so that you're not out. I mean, I know small ball is one thing, but when everybody is out there 6'7", that just makes it pretty tough. And actually, I don't think small ball is as much of a thing now as it was maybe a couple years ago. And even those teams those teams that play small, they don't really play that small. Like even the Warriors, when they play small, Wiggins is still like 6'8". Draymond still had like a 7'2" wingspan. Klay Thompson still a 6'6" shooting guard.
That's still small though. Draymond Green his height is like 6'7" at your center spot.
Yeah, but when you look at that, when you look at that compared to the Mavericks, I think probably many times Luke was probably tallest player that on the court. When you talk about Jalen Brunson, who's 6 feet, like Steph Curry is still a bigger point guard. He's 6'3".
He is, but look, I'm gonna say that's not sliding in 2012. You try to run out there with that Warriors lineup versus Zebo and Marc Gasol.
They would cook
That's
them.
not.
They would absolutely cook them. They would fucking cook them. They would run Zebo around screens. Zebo is not running around any of those screens, and they would have open threes.
They would. I'm
just
saying. I'm mainly saying how different it is. Like how different it is. I'm not saying they would win. I'm just saying it's just completely. That's why I say small ball is a thing because that's what they used to run out there. You used to run out there Zebo, Marc Gasol. You used to run out there Paul Gasol, Bynum. You used to run out there. It had a Boogie AD front court. It's different. That's why it's small ball. It's not as big as nowhere as big as it used to. We used to have a Perkins, Garnett front court. But here go
the thing. Like even the Bulls in '98 actually technically did play small ball. It was just they were a bigger version of small ball. Like Rodman was like 6'7". You had Kukoc who was like 6. What you mean?
I said he's kind of an anomaly though. Like they played that because they had him. The only reason why
the Warriors got Draymond Green. He's an anomaly. Ain't too many Draymond Greens walking around.
I feel you, but back then though,
basically what I'm saying is some of these teams small ball isn't that small. The Mavericks were literally playing small ball. Like there was no one probably above 6'8" on the court.
Same thing with the Warriors though, no?
But again, I think the Warriors size for size, again, if you look 6'3", if you have Jordan Poole, how tall is Jordan Poole?
Like 6'4", probably. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think a little bit taller than 6'4". I think it's probably like 6'5", 6'5", 6'6". 6'5". Klay Thompson 6'6". You have Andrew Wiggins who's 6'8", 6'9". Even when Otto Porter's like 6'9". Like they like it's not that small, is what I'm saying.
It says 6'4" on Google, but hey,
whatever. and again, Draymond Green is 7 with a 7'2" wingspan. So it's not as small as other teams may be. But Boston Miami series.
What's up?
What do you think about when you saw Embiid's tweet when he said they need another superstar? What do you think Miami can do, if anything, to improve their chances of actually winning an NBA championship?
Probably honestly what Embiid said though, that acquiring the superstar. I mean, they are stuck in some tough contract positions situations with Duncan Robinson playing like an average of 10 minutes per game this series, making like $18, $17 million a year. Lowry's obviously more on the backside, and he's due a bunch of money. So I mean, unless they can maybe try to package them for one guy, that'd probably be their best move, I think. But besides that, I don't know how they can really build without grabbing the superstars. I don't think there's too many tweaks in between the cracks you could make.
Would you trade Bam Adebayo for a upgrade?
Well, it depends on who the upgrade is, but yeah, definitely. If it's like Embiid, hell yeah.
Also, what do you think about Bam Adebayo's play throughout the series?
I think he's very disappointing. He got the Aiden syndrome where you gotta look to score. It's a lot of time where it's you can't really say Horford was locking him up. It was a lot of time he just wasn't even looking. He wasn't even looking at the rim. He would catch the ball, looking to dump it, or he'd catch it at the block, and he either shoot a fadeaway or he'll just look to pass, or he'll screen, catch it at the top of the key, look to pass, go to the rim. It just worked because it was so on and off. Because sometimes you see where he game 7 he had it. I think he had 32 in game
6 too. Yeah. I think it was game 6.
But it's just he the bigs, the Aiden, Bam, Gobert dudes. They don't have it in them to beat that. That's not they're not big time like that.
Now for Bam, what I will say is he's kind of undersized. So he may look at these Robert Williams is probably taller than him. Al Horford is probably his height. Jason Tatum may be as tall as Bam Adebayo, to keep it all the way real with you. They say Jason Tatum grew and he's really 6'10" now. Jason Tatum might be as big as Bam Adebayo. So Bam Adebayo does see that thing where he's a little bit undersized, but I'm with you. He just doesn't – he acts sometimes like he has no offensive game. Brother, you're pretty skilled. You have a nice looking jump shot. Now, granted, obviously you may not be able to stretch out to the 3, but you have a nice game. You can handle the ball. You can, you got a little jump shot. You can do things offensively. Now, maybe it's Miami's kind of equal opportunity style offense. Because even, Jimmy early in the series, he wasn't, not granted, Jimmy did have a knee issue, so maybe that hampered him a little bit. But Miami just have a very, equal style offense. Max Strus will fuck around and take 14 shots in the game. Or whatever. No, in a key moment, Max Strus may be putting that bitch up. He might make it, But Max, so they do have a kind of an equal opportunity style, offense. So maybe that affects him from being like, you know what, I'm gonna just go get it. But at the same time, I'm with you. Like, you have to do more. Like, you're getting paid like $175 million. We need you to be a superstar.
Especially when Hero down, no Hero really hurt him. You gotta be more aggressive. You gotta take that upon yourself, and you gotta look to score more. You more than just a
K-Dog guy.
You gotta be more aggressive.
I'm with you.
And it really gets Tyler Hero. I think his scoring, because Jimmy was the only one who could really go for self-stress. He was struggling. I thought the Boston defense did a good job. Marcus Smart into him. He didn't really have that extra offensive points. They were missing that, and that's why they couldn't go through. Underachieving, the guys weren't really
see, like, that's my thing with Miami. It's like, unless let's say MB is like, yo, I'm done with Philly, I want to trade, and you trade, I don't know, Bam out of Bayou, something else. I don't think you can. I think you don't. No, I think that you got Jimmy want to get like if Jimmy makes Boston.
You don't think Boston? I don't know.
I think Jimmy that, and you're so you're in shock. You just get like I can't remember, but listen, the only collapse I can remember that would have been bigger than that is you don't go if you every time go Lakers versus Blazers 1991 games. The Blazers had like a 15-point lead, lost that shit immediately with like 3 minutes left. That and when the Blazers, it's both. The Blazers were up Game 6, 1992 against the Bulls, and the bench proceeded to lose a damn, I don't know. The Bulls bench beat the Blazers basically, and they lost a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter. Those are the only collapses that I can personally remember that would have been bigger than what possibly could have happened. So again, like they still had a chance down the line. Like we can mention everything that's wrong. They still had a chance down the line. I don't think Miami, especially when you was mentioning the contract situations, I don't think they can get better. I think unless like somebody like Embiid, like I said, asked for a trade or something like that. Other than that, you just got to pray that they're healthy and pray that guys like Jimmy and pray that, guys can sustain that same level of play that they had this year. I mean, even if you return it next year and you look at, the landscape in the Eastern Conference, I mean, obviously the offseason has to happen, but I don't see any, currently, I don't see any other teams that weren't there this year being there next year. I don't think I see that.
You said that weren't there this year being there next year?
Yeah. Like Western Conference, I can see some teams that weren't there being there. Like the Clippers. I can see the Pelicans being there. The Eastern Conference, I don't like, granted, something can change, somebody can go somewhere else, but I don't see nobody who really weren't there. We didn't look at like, yo, these teams are the teams to beat that you add some more people to that group.
Mm-hmm. It depends on a lot of stuff. Like I think the offseason, whatever happens with the Knicks, I think that's going to be like the number one offseason scope for me. As far as in the East, that's going to speak volumes. Apparently, they don't want to get Kyrie at max, and does that come with Katie leaving or all that drama that's going on over there? Ben Simmons coming back healthy. It's going to rely on a lot of that, pretty much. Honestly, the Raptors are still growing. They're not really going to be a threat just yet.
For sure. But moving along, there was a new conference finals MVP award. That got announced that they gave it out. Do you like the conference finals MVP award? Do you have any reaction to it? Do you like, does it do anything for you?
It really doesn't do anything for me, but I mean, I'm for sure gonna like bring it up. Like if I'm talking to somebody about a player that I like, I'll throw it in there. It's just kind of a new thing. I think right now, I don't think it really like is moving people too much as of now. People is more like a what the heck, and it just kind of got thrown out of nowhere. I mean, cheers to Tatum and Steph on winning those awards. So it's a Larry Bird for the East and Magic Johnson for the West, right? I mean, it's I see what it's cool. Something new to talk about. Another word for the players to celebrate. I also think it's cool in a sort of way, just like I mean, if the teams don't win the finals, I guess you could see who was the MVP beforehand. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, but it's cool, but it's not really moving me too hard off the rip. We'll see, like the way it affects the masses in a few years after its age, after we get a couple winners, and the way people start to throw it around in different conversations. But right now, it's just kind of whatever. I just want to see how people look at it in the long term, really, because right now it's not really moving too many heads.
I mean, even like the Finals MVP. The Finals MVP didn't always exist. I think it was put in 1969, if I'm not mistaken, and Jerry West actually won the first one, even though they lost the series. I think the Finals MVP is the most overrated award in basketball, personally. Like, it's based on like people use it in actual arguments, and it's based on your performance over however many games. You might have had the better matchup. That doesn't mean that you're I don't think it should be used in actual I don't know, legacy discussions, in my personal opinion.
I think it's how you perform. Is if you outperformed everyone else on the biggest stage, that's pretty impressive.
But but people are used as like a slight, like, oh, Steph doesn't have Finals MVP. Like, who cares, bro? Like, you're not gonna tell me in these series Steph had no impact on the game of basketball just because he didn't win the Finals MVP. So it's not a thing that isn't. Like, for instance, 2016. I thought Kyrie could have easily won it. I thought Kyrie had just as much impact on them winning that series as LeBron James did, especially in Game 5. Game 5. Like, so it's just that award doesn't. So the Conference Finals MVP, again, go ahead.
I mean, as you said, just because you didn't have, you still had, I'm not saying you had no impact, but as you're Steph Curry, we expect you to have the biggest impact. We expect it to be you. Like, that's all. Like, we expect you to perform better than Iguodala. We expect you to outperform Andrew Wiggins. We just and when you don't, it's like, oh shit, like why? Like, the other guys who have done it on this stage at most times, and we expect you to do it as well if you want to be in that same conversation.
It doesn't really, but the award, like, I think that like you said, I think that over time, when it's not such a new thing, like, we're conditioned, our minds are conditioned without this award. But I think over time, as it's here 20, 30, 40 years, hopefully down the line, I think it'll mean more. I think the league is also changing as well. I think they're talking about putting in like the in-season tournament. So I think a lot of things over time will mean more than what they mean right now to us, as they become, more like in the lexicon of what's going on with basketball. So kudos to Tatum for winning it. I shout out Jason Tatum again. I haven't been I haven't been blown away. But I'm sorry. I just haven't. Just have not been blown away by Tatum's performance in these playoffs. I think he's been good. But I think the praise Jason Tatum is getting, I think the Celtics as a whole should get. I think the Celtics have a very good basketball team. I think Jaylen Brown has said about more. I think Al Horford, outside of like the probably maybe the final 2 games, has stepped up. I think Marcus Smart obviously has, played his part. Robert Williams has been good. Garrick White. I think the Celtics as like that award, in my opinion, I know the whole team can't get it, but that award, in my opinion, should go to the whole team. Like, I don't think Tatum had been so like head over heel. And even the West Conference Finals, I know that Steph got the award, but I think you can make a great case for Wiggins.
I'll have to see the numbers side by. How much did Wiggins average that series? Like 20.
Let me actually look.
But I see why Tatum got it. I'm not saying that he got it because he was much better than everybody else, but I still think he deserves the award. The big shots he gets throughout the series.
By default.
You said by default.
By default. Like, really, by default. Let's see. In that series, Wiggins averaged Steph averaged 23, 6, and 7. Clay averaged 18, 3, and 3. Wiggins averaged 18.6, 7.2, 2.8, with 0.3 steals and a block. What was his advanced numbers? His advanced numbers, his defensive rating. Okay, fair. His defense rating was 116. Steph was actually had a better defensive rating than Wiggins had. His offensive rating was 120. Jordan Poole's was Kevon Looney's off. Guess what Kevon Looney's offensive rating was in the West Conference Finals. Just guess.
101.
154.
What the?
He had 154 offensive rating. A 154 offensive rating. Kevon Looney.
Who was second behind him? Who was second behind him on the team? Does it show the whole list, or how far?
Jordan Poole had a 138.
Okay, sheesh.
Jordan Poole had 138. Clay had a 121. Steph had 120. Wiggins had 120. Draymond had 114.
That's wild. I mean, if you look at Tatum, only had one bad game in that series. Last series against Miami, and that was game 3. Other than that, he was there. He didn't shoot that well in game 5. He was 7 for 20, but he had 12 rebounds and 9 assists.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was passing the ball well. He was making plays. But let's look at what Tatum averaged. Tatum over 7 games. It's just like I'm looking at him and Jaylen Brown numbers. They don't look that like, bro. Jaylen Brown literally shot better from the field, shot better from 3. He just didn't shoot better from the free throw. Like, I'm just not like. Yeah. He averaged more steals. He was 1.1. Again, the thing that I really want to give Tatum kudos for throughout this entire playoff run is his defense. I have been way more impressed by Jason Tatum defensively than I have been impressed by Jason Tatum offensively.
And his
playmaking has shocked me too. I don't think it's been great, but it's been pretty good. I do think at times he probably handles the ball a little bit too much. But it's like, who does Boston really else have? He has to do that. They don't really have another like point guard, I would say, per se, like a point guard to really handle the ball. So he kind of has to. I seriously sometimes he handles the ball too much, but he kind of has to do that. But Tatum was 25 points, 8 rebounds, 5.6 assists, a steal, and basically a block a game. Jaylen Brown was 21 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals. 3 assists, basically 0.7 steals, 0.3 blocks. Yeah, let me look at advanced stats, Celtics advanced stats. Robert Williams had a 150 offensive rating. All right. Al Horford had a 113 offensive rating. Jaylen Brown had a 110. Tatum had a 110 defensive rating. Jason Tatum had a 106. Al Horford had a 101. Like, I'm just not like. I think it's a total team effort with the Celtics. Not taking none away because he's been a good. But I think it's a total team effort with the Boston Celtics. That's just my thing. The whole playoff run has been a total team.
But I mean, yeah. To be fair though, I mean, all playoff runs are team efforts. Like, ain't nobody really out there doing it.
Yes, of course. Nobody goes out and does it by themselves. But there are some where it's like, yes, they was balling, but this motherfucker. Like Dirk, like I know people say, oh, this playoff run for Tatum would be like Dirk in 2011. No, it wouldn't. No, not great. Yes, no. The Celtics. Yes, the Celtics have went through some dogs, some guys. But have we not forgetting Dirk was like a 40 ball every night.
That playoff series, yeah. I mean that playoff.
Dirk was like a 40 popper every night.
That was the most heartbreaking playoff run of my life. I'm not going.
Dirk was balling. Dirk was balling.
Jason Terry, Kidd, they was all shooting lights out.
They was all going crazy. But look, team effort. But fucking Dirk Nowitzki. Let's go. LeBron 2018. They made the finals. Yeah, everybody stepped up. But LeBron fucking James.
Certain situations just a little damage.
Oh shit! Look at the homie. We got man's
finally. TPJ is back in front of the millions
and millions.
What's good, y'all?
TP, what's up?
Good,
how you feeling, bro?
A long time. What's good, big dog?
TP, what's up? How you feeling, dog?
Joel in here talking some bullshit, and I ain't even listen. I'm just messing with you. You know I gotta come in and get Joel some shit. I only got about 10 minutes because I'm going to rooftop. You did.
Oh, yes,
please tell us what you. Please tell us. All right, so NBA Finals obviously is Warriors Celtics. Please tell us what you think about the NBA Finals. Who do you have winning? Give us your breakdown in 10 minutes. The floor is yours.
Number one, winner, I have the Golden State Warriors winning at 7. The only reason why I'm picking them in 7 is because of championship experience. I think that Stephen Curry, he's due. And if he doesn't have a big NBA Finals this playoffs and doesn't win Finals MVP, I'm perfectly fine with people calling him a fraud for the rest of his career. I'm dead ass because it's like that's very fraud-like. Because even Conference Finals MVP, he kind of deserved it because his numbers were better.
But let's be honest.
Klay Thompson is the reason why they wound up winning that series and taking over that series in those last 3 games. Because when he had that big game 5, it's like, oh shit, now we gotta get back to Clay. Then before you know it, Steph get off, Poole get off. They all have some good games. But I think the key to the series actually is going to be Draymond Green. I don't know what the Celtics will do in terms of their lineup, if they're going to start big with Robert Williams, Al Horford, Tatum, Brown, and Smart like they were doing versus the Heat and versus the Bucks, or if they're going to start small with Horford at the 5 or Williams at the 5, Tatum at the 4, and so forth. I personally think if Robert Williams starts in this series, biggest X factor in the series. If he gives us 10 rebounds, 10 points a game, the Celtics, I think, will win in 6. If he doesn't, then I think it's going to be a long and a very tough road for the Celtics, because the one thing that the Warriors do, and they proved to me versus the Mavericks, is that when they zone up, teams are used to playing against zone for possessions at a time, not for quarters at a time, not for 6-minute stretches at a time. I think the best thing that happened to Steve Kerr was them losing their finals to the Raptors, because it showed him that anything is possible on the defensive end if you can create enough havoc for a team's offense and they can't run an offense. And I think for the Mavericks, what you saw with that zone was, and the boxing one that they was running was, the main points of emphasis for their offense is to get to the middle of the floor and create some drive and kick lanes for the three-point shooters. Celtics kind of the same thing. Only thing that they do differently is they take a bunch of tough mid-range and three-point jumpers. The Mavericks take a lot of easy three-point jumpers, but it happens from collapsing the defense. The Warriors can keep the Celtics in the middle of the floor and make Tatum take tough jumpers, Brown take tough jumpers. I got the Warriors in 7. But if they can't, and Tatum and Brown are able to maneuver the way that they did versus the Celtics, versus the Bucks, versus the Heat, and versus the Nets, I think it's going to be a tough run. And also, Jason Tatum has not played good this playoffs. I'm trying
to tell you, he has not been fired. He has not been fired. Defensively, he's been good. Offensively,
very mediocre.
Thank you.
He's been mediocre offensively for his standards.
Thank you.
I've taken pride in his defensive matchup, which I can give him credit for, because if you're not going to score, you should still find other ways to be the best player on the floor. Now,
you're not scoring?
Has he been the best player on the floor for the Celtics? Yes, but only by default, because Jaylen Brown don't have enough opportunities with the ball to score, because you saw what he can do when he gets the opportunity to score in Game 5 versus Miami. Jaylen Brown, pound for pound, to me, is still the best player on this team. Jason Tatum is the most talented player. So you're going to give him those opportunities and those looks because he's the most talented player. But he has not put together a complete series this entire playoff. He's put together lackluster offensive performances.
Yeah,
when
one
he's had
bad
great
game.
defensive. He's put together lackluster offensive performances when he's had good defensive games, and he's put together good defensive performances when he's had lackluster offensive performances. He's never done both in the same night. He's only honestly had 2 good games, and that's when he scored 40. Other than that, he's just been okay. In order for him to win a championship, shut up and let me talk. I didn't let you have fucking 12 weeks of hoops to brew. Shut the fuck up.
All right,
Shut the fuck up. You've had 12 weeks unadulterated without TPJ interrupting. Shut the fuck up.
All right, go.
So, if Jason Tatum wants to reach the NBA top 100 level, which I think if he wins the finals this year, he's going to be a top 100 player of all time. If he loses the finals this year, he's got some more work to do to get there. But if he wins this championship, he's instantly a top 50 player of all time. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Stop. He's only 24 years old. He can go out next year and blow his knee out and miss 2 more years, come back in 2 years, give me 20, and he's still a bona fide Hall of Famer.
You do good, though.
No, I'm not. He is. You're not going to be able to name 75 players in NBA history.
Hall of Famer, but he wouldn't be a top 50 player ever.
Shut up. You're not going to be able to name 75 players in NBA history that, number one, have had a better playoff run than he's had this year alone. Number 2, that have won a fucking championship, because there's a lot of guys that ain't won a fucking championship. Russell Westbrook, James Harden. I can keep going down the line. Chris Paul, fucking bum ass. Ain't won a championship. They have not beat the level of competition he's beat. He's beat Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Jimmy Butler. And Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green in the same playoff run. Top 20 playoff run of all time. Going to instantly put himself into that top 75 category. Catapults basically all of these new guys that are in his generation Like, none of these new guys have a candle to hold him, including Luka, including Booker, including Levine. He done leapfrog DeRozan. He's going to fucking leapfrog Laurie, who's a Hall of Famer. He going to leapfrog Draymond Green, who's a Hall of Famer. He going to leapfrog Klay Thompson, who's a Hall of Famer. He going to leapfrog Kyrie Irving, who's a Hall of Famer. Do I need to keep going? He's going to be better than Dame Lillard. Career already greater than Dame Lillard. So we got to put into perspective what he can do. But he has to hit a God-level sphere. Like Shaq said about Joel Embiid, all these players think I'm being unrealistic when I say if you get into the playoffs, you need to be averaging 5 more points and 5 more rebounds. He's like, if you Joel Embiid, you average 30 during the playoffs, and the regular season, and 10, 11 boards during the regular season. Why is it too much for me to ask for you to give me 35 points a game and for you to give me 16 rebounds a game? I did it. And you know what? He's not tripping. So Tatum needs to give me 32 points a game, play awesome defense on Klay Thompson, and I think they'll be all right. If they don't do that and he doesn't do that and give me some next level shit, then he'll just be another one of the guys like Devin Booker was last year when he had the opportunity to close the deal and he didn't. And he's played terribly in them last couple games, didn't make the best possessions. Yeah, he scored points, but it's not about points. It's about all-around game. So if Jason Tatum can do that, Celtics. If he can't, the Warriors going to beat them boys, and it'll be a nice, smooth 7 games. Because I do think that Marcus Smart is the greatest equalizer on the floor, because what Draymond Green can do to Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Grant Williams and those guys, Marcus Smart does that to Steph Curry. Steph Curry does not play well versus Marcus Smart. He frustrates him. He gets into his body. He plays a little dirty. He's kind of diving on the floor, diving into him. Steph not really used to that level of physicality. And if I'm Ime Udoka, Marcus Smart, you the key to this series, and Robert Williams, you the key to this series. Rob, go get me 10 and 10. Marcus, make Steph Curry give me the hardest 24 points he ever had to score in his life. And if we can keep him under 25, we're going to beat the fuck out of them. And that's it. That's all I got to say about that. I'm ready for retorts now. Joel, Pavi, go ahead.
All right, cool. First off, y'all gotta stop acting like just because Tatum not getting 40 on 90% that he's not playing amazing. He's still playing really good basketball.
He's not playing amazing, bro.
What's he shooting for the playoffs?
He hasn't shot 50% any series, and he's a front court player. You're not playing amazing.
He don't shoot front court shots though. He shoot just damn near as many jumpers as any guard you can name.
That's even worse.
That's part of the fucking problem. That's part of his goddamn problem.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on.
You don't shoot front court.
Stop. So, Joe, Jason Tatum take high percentage shots?
Did you say?
Does Jason Tatum take high percentage shots? Yes or no?
Takes the shots that Jason Tatum needs to take.
Does Jason Tatum take high percentage shots? Yes or no? Answer the fucking question.
He takes the shots.
You're not answering my question. Answer the question.
Yes or no?
Does Jason Tatum take high percentage shots?
He's not gonna get the same respect from defense if he doesn't shoot those shots.
Okay, fine. Different question. Yes or no? Does Rudy Gobert take high percentage shots?
Hell yeah, he shoots. That's all he is.
Does Jason Tatum take high percentage shots?
He's not talented enough to not take high percentage shots.
Man. Yeah, man, you about to make me log the fuck back out of here again. Yes or no question. Does Jason Tatum take high percentage shots?
He takes the shots that he needs to take. I mean, so for him, yes.
No, they're not opposite shots for anybody. A fadeaway step back 3 is not a opposite shot for anybody.
A fadeaway is
not a opposite.
Not even that. A fadeaway from 20 feet from a guy that's 6'10".
We saw Tatum rip off 7 straight points versus Miami. They start doubling him. He is the. Ain't nobody getting respect like that. Jaylen Brown, he rip off some points. Ain't not gonna double him.
Okay, question. Did Kobe Bryant take high percentage shots?
For him, yes.
No, the fuck he didn't. G. Kobe used to shoot shit from behind the fucking backboard. You lying? No, Joe, stop. No, another one. Because this is one guy I actually give you a maybe. Does James Harden take high percentage shots?
For him, like it's all in the same category. For him, yes.
No,
that's what they do. That's their game.
He's the only one on that list that I just named that you can say is a maybe. Because in his prime, he was drive a bus and nobody in the world could stop that step back 3. Get the fuck out of here. Jason Tatum has some of the worst shot selections in the world for a nigga that's 6'9" I've ever seen in my life.
He does have terrible shot selection.
And he's still the fucking ECF MVP. And he's
Aldridge. LaMarcus Aldridge taking the same shots as Jason Tatum, take higher percentage shots than Jason Tatum.
You
want to know why? Because they don't fucking hand in his face every time he take the shots.
I saw Tatum.
That don't mean it ain't. That don't make it a good shot because you hit it, bro. You don't have to make the game that hard for yourself, bro.
Because Steph Curry take half the shots.
If you want to come down and take half the shot, make a hesitation with the defense, gonna react to it because you might shoot this man. You already on their heels. They don't know what's gonna happen, and you got to continue to be you while they falling over the place.
Man, look, I get it. You a Jason Tatum fanboy, but you can be realistic about the man. You don't have to lie. You don't have to sit up here and lie about the man. You can be realistic.
That's how you maximize Jason Tatum. You let him off.
You maximize him. You maximize him by him taking bad shots.
That's why you're a Luka Doncic fan. I saw him damn near shoot the fucking Mavericks out of the Western Conference Finals.
You didn't see him shoot the Mavericks. You're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar. Max A. Keebler and Reggie Bullock went 0 of 15 in a game, and you talking to me about Luka Doncic shooting them out the city.
That's it.
What talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? That's the same as Jason Tatum.
Luka he shoot more.
Man, Pappy, can you please pull up basketball reference and tell me how many times Jason Tatum did shot the past 7 games? I guarantee you they took over 24 shots the past at least 5 games. What the fuck are you talking about, Joe?
One of them at home, the other one not.
He took actually Jaylen Brown took more shots than Jason Tatum in the series, but Jaylen Brown also shot than Jason Tatum.
And that's Luka for sure chucking more than him. And Luka ain't no half of on defense. I seen Luka
Jaylen Brown.
And what's Luka's usage rating versus Jaylen Brown's usage rating? Get the fuck out of here.
We're going to bring him up. We're going to get a sprint. We're going to run right by his ass every time.
You sound like a fanboy right now, Joe. You sound like a fanboy, G.
Off the hookah and the beers, and he not really as good as Luka fanboys that all y'all be talking to me about.
Like I told you last night, give Luka Doncic Jaylen Brown, and then you fucking talk to me.
Yeah, okay, make excuses. He already got Jalen Brunson. He got Witty. He got
Jalen Brunson is fucking Jaylen Brown.
I didn't say that.
Jalen Brunson, Jaylen Brown. It's Jalen Brunson. Jaylen Brown.
I never said that. I never said that.
Jalen Brunson.
I'm saying he got something.
You saying Davis Bertans is Jaylen Brown? Name the episode that. What the fuck is wrong with you?
He mixed it up.
G, you mentioned Jaylen Brown and Jalen Brunson in the same category. Are you serious?
I said he got somebody. You said he haven't got nobody. He got something. Jalen Brunson.
That's like if Michael Jackson out on the Jackson 5. You saying, well, at least they got Tito. What?
Oh, don't do that. Don't play Jalen Brunson like that.
Janet Jackson is still in the family. What the fuck are you talking about? Nobody names Tito after fucking Michael. Nobody names Jalen Brunson after fucking Jaylen Brown. What is wrong with you?
He had a star. He ran Porzingis out of town. He probably would have helped in that series.
Yeah,
he would have been better than the White Powell.
Take Jaylen Brown off the Celtics, and let me give Jason Tatum Kristaps Porzingis.
Luka ran Kristaps Porzingis the hell out the city,
and Jason Tatum would. And guess what? Them white people in fucking Boston would have been calling Kristaps Porzingis a monkey. Them white people would have been calling KP a monkey after they saw him fucking play basketball. Get the fuck out of here.
He shooting from half court and he was protecting.
Boston fans would have went full Liz campaign on Kristaps Porzingis if Kristaps Porzingis was playing in Boston. They would have forgot that man was white and start calling him light skinned and calling him a fucking monkey. Get the fuck out of here. He's fucking terrible. He ain't been good since he got drafted. Even Phil knew that shit. Stop playing with me.
He ain't been good since he been drafted. All right, you reaching like shit.
Jalen Brunson better than Jordan Poole?
Debatable.
Jalen Brunson probably by a little bit.
Debatable. I'm not that impressed with Jordan Poole. That's actually debatable. That one is actually debatable.
Very close. It's not that far away.
In months.
That one is actually debatable. That one is actually debatable. Jalen Brunson, Jordan Poole is actually debatable. That one is debatable.
So, Jalen Brunson or Klay Thompson?
Now, debatable. Depends on the night.
Probably give me Clay, but it's still close.
Depends on the night. Depends on the night. That depends on the night. That depends on the night. Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brown. I don't agree with Mans. That I do not agree with Mans.
Y'all putting out
But those two, it depends on the night. I'm dead to fuck serious.
Take me off camera for a second. I'll be right back. Y'all keep.
It depends on the night. That one actually depends on the night, in my personal opinion. Personally, that one depends on the night. But no, my finals preview. Like I said, I don't think the Warriors are head over heels a better team. I think yes, they do have the experience, but I do like the matchup of Boston versus Golden State. I do agree. Also, Boston historically has played the Warriors really well. I think even in the 73-9 season, if I'm not mistaken, Boston was a team who beat the Warriors. I remember even when Kyrie was there, they had the ABC Saturday matchup. I think the Warriors won a game, but that was a full. Like historically, Boston has played the Warriors really, really well.
Yeah, Golden State Boston always been a good matchup.
I think it's because of the person that like the length they have the length to be able to affect them. Like even the Warriors usually at most positions have the size advantage. In this series, the Warriors probably won't have the size advantage at most positions. Also, the Warriors usually don't play teams as physical as the Boston Celtics are. The Boston Celtics like have a lot of big, like even just their body type, big physical guys. So I think even for Boston, physically, it'll be an easier series than some of the other series they have endured in the East, as far as like going against, Milwaukee. You have Giannis coming downhill at you fucking 80 times a game, running into you. Even the series like, the Heat, like a guy like PJ Tucker, a big like linebacker looking type guy. It'll probably be an easier series physically for them than what some of those series were. I'm going with the Warriors Warriors in 6 out of respect. And out of the fact that, like, again, I'm not that convinced in Jason Tatum as other people are. If Tatum hits some level, like I know people, if Tatum hits some, I don't even know what level. If Tatum hits some level that I don't see him hitting, then sure. Mm-hmm. Oh, shit. Like if Tatum can actually walk on that court and be the best player on that basketball court, this is a whole different series. But Tatum got to walk on that court and be the best player on that basketball court. Night in and night out. I don't mean for one. I mean every damn day.
Look, if Tatum don't shoot,
walk in there and be the best player on that basketball court.
If you don't get 40 on 80%, you're gonna go to the Twitter like,
no, I don't want 80%. You can't give me 50. You are a front court player. You are 6'10". This is like he might be not that much shorter than Kevin Durant. Stop. If Kevin Durant shoots 45%, that's not a good series for Kevin Durant. I'm sorry. You supposed to be above 50%. You are 6'10". You are a front court player. If LeBron James, the reason why Iggy got that final MVP, because LeBron James shot 39%. When the fuck have you ever seen LeBron James shoot 39%? You big as hell.
You never seen his volume of shots be that high either. He was shooting like damn near 30 times.
You supposed to shoot more than 30, shoot better shots. Shoot better shots more times a game.
You know how hard it is to shoot better shots when your center is Mozgov and Dellavedova is your point guard?
First of all, Mozgov was balling in that series, number one. Mozgov was balling in that series. Number two, wait. Number two, you supposed to be able to shoot better, bro. You have 39%, not gonna get it done. So for me, my thing is, again, I do think Marcus Smart will have a pretty good impact against Steph Curry. I think he'll just get physical with him. Also, I think that again, the Warriors also again have to stay out of foul trouble. My thing always with Steph is that like you have to make sure he stays out of foul trouble. Also, Marcus Smart, again, he's not completely offensively inept. He is a guy who will at least put some pressure on your defense as an offensive player. Also, I think one of the things that Robert Williams can do is interrupt the classic Warriors lob. Like the Warriors have this classic lob that they do. I think Robert Williams being athletic, he's probably the most athletic center that they've had to face in any final. For sure he is, that they've had to face at that center spot. So I think him defensively, defending the lob, protecting at the rim will be huge. But yeah, I'm with bro. I'm looking at Jason Tatum. If you want to be legendary, this is the time to go out there and be legendary. Because again, I think these teams are pretty evenly matched. I don't think the Warriors have a better team, have such a better team than what the Celtics have. I think it's pretty evenly matched. So I think it's gonna come down to the stars. And again, he needs a defining moment. I can't tell you what I think. Maybe look, Jason Tatum, Game 7. I had to give him credit. Giannis was trying to say yes. Tatum kept saying no. So I do have to give him credit for certain things like that. But I still don't think we've seen a complete defining Jason Tatum game throughout this entire playoff run. In my personal opinion, I think Game 7 is probably the best. I think yeah, Game 7 is probably the best. But I think the story of that series and game is probably more so the fact of, yeah, Giannis laid it all out there, but he just didn't have enough to win that game. I still don't think, like I said, we've seen a defining Jason Tatum moment. Even in this series, Miami, the story is Jimmy Butler. It ain't really Tatum. The story is Jimmy Butler.
The story is that's because the circumstances are different. Ain't nobody shooting the ball in Miami.
No, because Jimmy Butler was a better basketball player.
Jimmy Butler's also been single covered. I see Tatum. As soon as Tatum get hot, they sending two guys at him off rip, and that's happened multiple times this series. I have not seen nobody. They ain't sent two guys that Jimmy wants. They want them guys, the other guys, and they just pretty much let Jimmy get what he get, and everybody else would neutralize them when we good. It's different. It ain't been the same.
I also think Tatum could have been a little bit better on playmaking. I think even like Game 6, I think down the stretch, where he still has to grow as a playmaker kind of show. But I would like to give our actual, because I have to run eventually, so I would like to give our actual for real finals predictions. If TB come back, I think he already said it, but just one last time, how many games? Unless you have a breakdown that you would like to give, Joe.
On what again?
NBA Finals.
Oh, I'm going. Look, I was quick to pick Golden State like a lot of people, but I get to I haven't met a single person who's picking Boston yet. I mean, outside of maybe a couple of Boston fans, but I mean, I'm going with the Warriors. I'm gonna say it's going to the full length of 7. I'm going with the Warriors, but I expect Boston to make it hell for them. They got like I said, number 1 defense in the year, all year, with the athletes to go with it. They expect them to really get into the Warriors, really get into their shooting lanes, really. When they do get to the lane, they're going to expect to see Robert Williams. There's going to be guys there. I expect them to really aggravate them. As you can see, Memphis really did a good job aggravating them with the length that they had. So it's going to be they're going to mimic that. They're really kind of like Draymond didn't play that with a series at times. And they're going to be seeing stuff like that. Bodies thrown at them, long arms. That's the really gets the Warriors out of whack. But I just think the Warriors with their shot making and their experience. And having Steph Curry, like I said, I picked last round. I picked Steph Curry beforehand, the legend. But I just think the Warriors is too much to experience, and they got more firepower at the end of the day. So that's what I'm gonna go with.
Did you like to respond to that, TP? You muted. Oh, there you go.
Oh wait.
Williams, and if Robert Williams could be a beast, then I think that the Celtics will win. But if he can't be effective or he won't get a lot of minutes, I don't think it's going to be an easy series for the Celtics.
You're low. TP, you low. Your voice is low. TP, your voice low.
Yeah. Can you hear us? I don't think you hear us.
I didn't really see it back then, but now that he's getting older and Marcus Smart has started to look for the pass first rather than look for a shot first, I actually do see that type of potential for him, where he could be one of those kind of D12 guys where shooting high percentage, great lob catcher, great defender. I think this might be his coming out party to the world to actually show them what he could do. If Jason Tatum, you know, the funny part about Jason Tatum is like us being like, yeah, we need to know who. I'm sorry. The funny part is like us being like, yeah, we don't know who Jason Tatum is or who he could be, or like I don't know who he need to perform. Like, you want to know why? Because he's a 1-on-1, and when you a 1-on-1, you either gonna be one of them special ones or you're gonna be one of them ones where we're gonna talk about and be like, he was good. I think Jason Tatum has the ability to become a 1-on-1 and be to KD what KD was to him. And not necessarily the same as a player, but in terms of the path and the trajectory. Especially with the team that they have, and they have a solid like young core, because their core is still fairly young, even though you got older guys like Big Al. So I think that the Celtics, it's theirs for the taking if they want it. But I don't know if them boys is gonna be built and like war ready enough to like. You got to go to war with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, and they report Iggy coming back, and they got
Gary Payton Jr. coming back. So even if Iggy back, Iggy's just an extra body to put on Jason Tatum. Like, Iggy didn't play at all, but I think his only mission is, all right, we get to the finals, I'll play. We don't get to the finals, it is what it is. Now we at the finals, we got 2 more extra bodies to throw around. It's going to be rough for the Celtics, man, but it just depends on Jason Tatum. And if Jason Tatum not special, we're going to have some conversations. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if Jaylen Brown snuck up and took that finals MVP. But for finals MVP, I actually believe that Klay is gonna have a series of his life this finals.
So he finally gonna have a good. So Klay finally gonna have a good finals.
I don't think he's had bad finals. I don't think his role has dictated him to have to do the things that we needed him to do in the finals. And I think the first finals he had was a bad one. I think all of the ones after the first one was just like he was just within his role. But also, like, when you playing in the playoffs, I think he is a person that teams game plan for. You can't let him get hot. You can't leave him open. So if you can't let him get hot and you can't leave him open, he's going to be defended as hard as everybody else. And you can't – I mean, obviously, when he's not on the floor, they be running zones on Steph, boxing ones. You can't do that with Klay Thompson on the floor. So I think he finally has to – and I think he finally will, like, hit his stride. He's going to get the finals MVP. Watch. And people are going to be talking about, oh, Steph Curry a fraud. He only got a conference finals MVP. I think at this point in Steph's career, he could get 3 more finals MVPs. I don't think it's going to change his standing as far as the greatest players in the top 5, top 10. I think he's going to forever be in that, like, 10 to 12 range. And no matter what he does, individually will really matter at this point because he already is cemented. So we'll see.
And also, one last thing about the Celtics. I hate the way they play offense. And I think they just swing the ball around and actually take a lot of bad shots. And one thing I thought that would be an issue when they played Giannis, and it kind of was transition. When you shoot them threes and they bouncing wherever, you do not want to end up in a situation in which the Warriors are getting in transition and they going out and they getting hot. I think one of the reasons why I think the Warriors will win this series is I just think they play smarter brand of basketball than pretty much all the teams that were left. I don't think that they had head over heels talent of any of the Final Four. I thought all of the Final Four had talent that could match them. I just think the one thing that they didn't have was mental fortitude. They just play smarter offense. Like when I watched the Warriors play offense, I'm like, oh, okay, that actually had intent. They run offense with intent. I don't think the Celtics always run offense with intent. They didn't win the game last night. They just didn't lose. I don't like
that phrase for that game.
They just didn't lose. They
young.
Exactly.
Bro.
That's my thing. That's my thing. I don't think they do enough. Defensively, they're incredible. But I don't think offensively they do enough things with intention. Now, again, you can get away with that if you have guys who are going to be special. So I'm with you. Like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, specifically Jason Tatum, has to go out there and be special. If he can't, like I said, if he can't go out there and be the best player on the court every night, we're going to have some issues because of the way that they play offense. Steph Curry doesn't have to be the best player every night. Klay Thompson don't have to be the best player every night. They will end up scoring some points just off of the fact of how they run their offense. They'll get some easy looks. They'll get some easy buckets. Steph could get maybe 10 points on layups, go to the foul line a couple times, and end up with 24, 25 points just because of the way that they run offense. But again, I do think it'll be a good series. I'm going Warriors in 6 solely because of the fact I think they're just smarter than other people. And yeah, I'm going Warriors in 6. But I don't think either of these teams will repeat next year, whoever wins.
I actually disagree with that. If the Warriors win this year, I actually think they got an opportunity to repeat because I think Kuminga moves into the starting lineup next year, regardless of what anybody says. Even if you have to play Draymond at the small ball 5, I think he's too talented for you to leave on that bench. So he's gonna move into the starting lineup. Trust me, he's gonna surpass Poole. He's just not old enough yet, I think, for them to really want to give him those minutes. But if I'm looking at it, he's a big body. He's still only 19, 20. Still got the opportunity to grow. Yeah, he still got another opportunity. I'm still got the opportunity to grow another inch or so, hit around that 6'9", 6'10" range. And I honestly think you got you a mini Jason Tatum to combine with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Jordan Poole.
You do good though.
No, I'm not really. And even if you think about Moody, Moody is a guy to me that if he was picked on any other team in his league, he probably would have been starting. Even if you think about the Thunder and the players, I mean, same with Kuminga. If you think about the Thunder and the players that they had playing and starting on their team, Moody and Kuminga would have started on that team, and they would have been NBA starters this year, getting very valuable minutes. But instead, they've been learning behind Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Now, you mean to tell me next year with a bench of potentially Kevon Looney, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, and then you go and get you another big man that can rebound, you can't get back to this spot? I think that's a little ridiculous. And I think those guys are only going to get younger and better. And even if Klay is a guy that next year, or you notice some slippage, or he come back in the offseason and he don't look the same, he a guy you can always move to the sixth man, and he could become a John Havlicek kind of guy where he could just come in, get buckets, play defense, and do what they need him to do off the bench. I don't even think Klay at this point in his career, like, he should be a starter, but I don't think that he has to be a starter. I think he can still be Klay Thompson and still get 16 shots a game off the bench. So I think the Warriors got the opportunity to, like, literally have one of the greatest runs in years. Like, we could be talking about the Warriors like the Celtics by, like, 2026. Like, Steph Curry could be going out on his last leg around 38, 40. Draymond Green on his last leg. Klay on his last leg, with Kuminga and Moody as the stars of the team. And we talking about, damn, they didn't really ran this shit off for 11 years in a row. So we'll see. But I'm out. More everybody. It was fun doing this shit. Get up with y'all later.
I feel him. I just think one, contracts would be like luxury tax would be an issue. I mean, not granted, if you win it, you might pay it, but luxury tax, I think eventually will be an issue. And I just think that we end into an era in which I just think yes, I could see it happening, but I think we're kind of entering into an era like the 70s in basketball, in which there's so much talent. I think we may see teams return to the finals. I don't know if we'll see repeat champions for a minute. I could be wrong, but that's just my personal opinion. But let's get ready to get out of here. Joe, you said Warriors and
I said Warriors in 7. Because I really want to see 7 games, and I think Boston can really keep up with them. And that's pretty much just I got Warriors in 7 because I think they can keep up with them. They got the firepower, they got the defense, and it's pretty evenly matched. Depending on how like pretty much like how y'all said, if Jalen and Tatum can go out there and perform like to what they're capable of, and really give some big performances, they can keep up with the Warriors. The Warriors aren't that far ahead of them at this point. I don't think so. So we'll see, especially with the shortened rotations and the depth that the Celtics have shown. Grant Williams, Derek White, they're going to have to show up their role players because Golden State role players are going to be there. If a certain role player don't kill you, another one will. Poole might have an off night. Wiggins have a big night. Klay have an off night. You're going to get a good game from Looney. Looney will show up. But, yeah, I think the Celtics do have the guys, and they got the momentum heading to their first finals. Great coaching, and like we said, pretty much the best defense all season. So we'll see how they match up. But I expect it to be a very gritty, aggressive series. I expect to see Draymond get a couple of flagrants. I expect to see maybe somebody might even get ejected. It's going to be real. I expect to see it's going to be good. There's going to be some great basketball ahead of us starting Thursday.
Yeah, I'm with you. As always, man, thanks for watching Hoops and Brews. Should be a very exciting NBA Finals. We'll be back one of these days, maybe between game 1 and 2 or whatever. We'll be back again as always, man. Thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoy the show today. TV popped in. But yeah, man, until next time, dog. It's been Hoops and Brews.